waves. And then let's go into knocking on the door of life. Tapping the kidney behind you in your lower back. Arms are relaxed. A warm up. We do almost every class because it's so great for getting your energy circulating. Helping to wake you up if you have the 4 o'clock little afternoon lag. Great move to do first thing in the morning too. Helps to open up your spine as well. So tapping on the kidneys. Kidneys are the root of our body. They provide deep nourishment, so we want to keep them healthy. Energy circulating to them. And one hand can wrap around your waist. I don't know about you guys, but it is hot in this room right now. So at any point you get overheated, just slow it down and that'll help to cool you off a little bit. And tapping underneath the collarbone. Remember, this is a good immune point. I would suggest that you work with this point on a daily basis. Keep your immune system strong. It can just be as simple as doing the tapping that we're doing right now. So it's underneath your collarbone, out closer towards your shoulder area, the outer edge of your collarbone. The other hand is still tapping the kidney, and then across into that shoulder area, releasing tension in your neck and shoulders. So we might unconsciously be holding a lot of tension in this area when we're have uncertainty or feeling like we're holding the weight of the world on our shoulders. So we're going to work particularly with the neck and shoulders today. And then back around. And then let's just let it go, just relaxing. Starting to already feel that Qi moving down into your hands. Let's do a little bit of releasing. Remember, with the Qi Gong, we like to release all the old energy, stagnant energy first. Start to fill up with fresh energy if we're holding on to old stuff. So hands come up and just swing down. Go nice and slow. Inhale up. I'm exhaling through my mouth right now. So when you want to release, you exhale through your mouth. Always inhale through your nose, but blowing out the mouth. It's like emptying a cup of old water that's been sitting around for a day or two. If you add some new clear water to it, it's just gonna muck it up. So we're getting rid of that old stagnant Qi so we can fill our cup up with fresh energy. Let's do one more. And then just bring your hands up and let's do picking cherries for the lower back for a moment. So just coming up and down. Reaching up. I love that I have these little images on my computer and I can see a few of you doing your Qi Gong. Do it a few more times. And just leave your hands up now, stretch up, and let's do some spinal cord breathing. Again, enlivening the spine and helping to benefit our nervous system. Elbows come back. So a slight arch, and you can pull your chin back slightly. And now you're rounding. So dropping your tailbone down to the earth, rounding your upper back, pulling your elbows in, and then a big inhale. Pull back and exhale. Just follow your breath. Again, great for your spine and for your nervous system. Spinal cord breathing. And think about pulling your chin in slightly and arching your back. And then as you come down, relax your chin in towards your chest and tighten your behind. This is a move that, it's a cranial sacral move, for those of you that know what that is. So tighten your behind, come up, and then pull your chin in slightly. And then come down, tighten your buttocks. This is an inhale, and this is an exhale. A couple more times. And then just coming up and releasing down. And let's just take our hands up and bring them on down. Pulling down the heavens, a nice slow, cooling move. Inhale. And exhale. And let's go into, let's do some head circles. Take your hands and just flexing your hands. And drop your head, drop your shoulders, drop your head. No, remember I'm mirroring you, so drop your head over to your right. Shoulders down, drop your head back and forward, so chin to the chest. Inhale back, exhaling forward. But pay attention to where your neck is at. This should feel like a good stretch. If your neck is tweaky, then modify the move. Just make it a little smaller. So maybe you just come to here. See where you're at. Gives your neck a little massage. And once we get that energy open and moving through the neck, we start to get more blood flow going into our brain as well. And dropping your head down and around and over to the other side. Inhale and exhale. Modify if you need to. I'm making my move a little bit smaller on this side as I feel something going on. So just paying attention. Just notice what you notice. You don't have to judge it. Now we're working with the yang side of our body, working with the meridians with the traditional Chinese medicine. And those meridians come all the way up the back of our arms and fingers. And drop your head down and relax your hands. Just bring your head back up. And let's take our palms and open them up. They're open up, so now we're working with the yin meridians. Again, same thing, so head over to the right and back and forward. Inhale and exhale. Drop your head down Over to the other side. Opening up those lines of energy from your fingers all the way up through your neck. And release down, relax your arms. Let's do a little shaking, releasing a little bit more. So just shaking. You can come up on your heels a little bit. Loose and relax in your hands and arms. Relax your hips. So bend to your knees. So letting go, releasing down to the earth. We work with the elements, as you recall, Qi Gong. So we're releasing down to the earth, whatever it is that we don't need. Any worries, any fears, any uncertainties, frustrations, just letting it go. Even if you've got a pain somewhere in your body, imagine you're just releasing it all, whatever you don't need. You can shake a little faster. This is also great for our lymphatic system. Very important system in our body, helping us to detox. And for our bones, especially if you come up on your heels, tap, you help to strengthen your bones. I love to do shaking. This is an easy one to remember, so anytime you feel like you've taken on too much or just not feeling your best, shake it off. You don't have to do this whole routine. It's a very easy one to remember. You look at animals when they've just been spooked. For example, I think of my horse. What does she do after she's spooked at something and she realizes she's okay? She shakes it off. And sometimes with me on her. Then I need to shake it off. So a little bit more, a little faster. Okay, slow down. Just relax. Now you might feel a buzzing, energy, heavy feeling as you've gotten that Qi, that life force energy activated. Moving down your arms into your hands and fingers. And it's also moving into every cell of your body. You bring your hands together where you can feel that energy even between your hands. And then let's do a little bit more directly for the neck. So take your hands up and you're going to push your hands off to the left and look to the right. Trying to straighten that front arm out as much as possible. And then your hands come back in. I'm going to do a little bend to my knees here. And now I'm pushing again. You're going to look as far as you comfortably can. Inhale. And exhale. Remember, if you still feel like you've got a lot to release, then simply exhale out your mouth. And back. And pushing out. Stretching out that front arm as much as possible. Back and up. Back to center. Let's do the same thing the other side. So pushing, straightening that front arm, looking over, and then coming back. You're looking at your palms, and then pushing, coming back. Now, if your energy is simply felt depleted, you're not particularly frustrated, you're just feeling a little bit depleted, then maybe you just want to breathe in and out your nose. Just remember, you're always breathing in through your nose. Do a couple more of those. And then back Feeling that Qi ball. Take your hands and interlace your fingers. I like this one for the neck a lot. And you're just gonna shake your hands and relax your head. And you're gonna feel this in the back of your neck. Relax your head. Releasing in your neck. Good. And keep your hands like this, and let's go right into a move that's great for your joints. So I'm coming up and then pushing down into the other one. Up, elbows up, and then pushing down. You don't need to keep your hands together. They're interlaced, but you don't have to keep your palms together. Working with the joints. Working with your shoulder and your wrists. Up and down, up and down. And moving it organically, however your body wants to move it. And just relax it out with your wrist. In fact, let's tap the inside of your wrist to the outside of the other. Maybe about 3 inches, 3 fingers in. Those are key pressure points. One is for relaxation, and the other is for your immune system. You're just tapping. So you can see. Good for your wrist too, for anybody that does body work. Great for your wrists. And let's switch that to the other side. Release, let it go. Feel that energy in your wrists and your hands. Really should feel activated. It feels kind of fuzzy or tingly. Let's get into the shoulders a little bit more. We'll do air swimming. Your hands come forward. You're shifting your weight back into your heels as your hands come forward, and then opening up. It's almost like a swimming stroke. My weight is going back to my heels as my arms come forward, and now they're coming to my toes. So the weight's coming to my toes. Back and forward. Bring energy into the heart and into the lungs. Opening up in the mid-back and in the shoulders. So opening up here. Think of rounding your back a bit right here, and then opening up. So round and open. A few more. Remember, if you're hot or if you've got anything going on with your legs, you can sit down and do this. So this Qi Gong can really be modified, so it's doable for anyone. And then coming back, and let's go the reverse. So coming back, still shifting my weight back and forward. Now, right now I'm rounding my back, and now I'm straightening. So they say in Qi Gong that when you have an area that feels tight, muscular pain, the energy is stagnant there. Or even if it's joint pain, the energy is stuck there. So these movements help it to unblock and get flowing again. And typically you have some emotions that may release as well. And we're working with the same energy points that acupuncturists would work with. Just a couple more. Good. And coming back, holding onto that chi ball for a moment. And let's do a movement that you may have done with me before called tiger claw. It's also releasing in this area, but helps to release emotions as well. So hands come up, the back of your hands are together coming up. Now I'm going to look towards my left. Remember, I'm mirroring you. So you're going to look towards your left. You're going to take your right hand in front and your left behind. And then your hands come down as your knees bend. Shift to face forward again. Hands come up, back your hands, inhale. And now your left hand is in front, your right is behind. Exhale. Tiger claw. Inhale. And exhale. So letting go down to the earth, bringing up energy, and letting go whatever it is that you don't need. So the hand in the back represents whatever you're ruminating about from the past, something that you might be holding on to that keeps going through your mind. Remember, what's done is done. Maybe we wish that life was back to normal, but however, it is what it is, right? So just releasing that desire so that you're not being pulled down by it. And then the front arm can represent the future. Perhaps you have some worries or some concerns. So just pushing those down to the earth as well. So thinking about the back hand representing wisdom that we gain from all the life's experiences or the events that are happening. And the front hand represents vision and focus for what you do want to bring into your life. Keeping the focus on what we'd like to manifest, on those intentions, and releasing any energy that keeps us from that, keeps us stuck in old thought patterns, that keep us stuck in our old grooves. Do this a couple more times. Remember, if you get too hot, just to slow it down for a moment. And then come back to center. And let's do a move called opening the flow. And just floating up and floating down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Opening to that more relaxed, effortless energy within us. When we can come into this state, it's easier to get in touch with our intuition, our creativity. Decision making becomes easier when we're in a flowing, open state, into the flow of life versus feeling tight and constricted. A couple more. Let's just slow it down a little bit. Your hands are floating up. There's no tension in my wrist. My fingers are just relaxing down, and now they come up slightly. Imagine that you're riding a current of air as your hands float up and release down. Float up and down. Now would be a good time, if you're still exhaling up through your mouth, just breathe in and out your nose. Go ahead and release down. And let's go into arm spirals or teacups, which we've done in this class if you've done it before. And this not only works with our joints, all the joints of our body, it also releases the neck and shoulder area, the hips. So remember, I'm mirroring you. You're going to take your left hand. Imagine you're holding your favorite tea. Maybe it needs to be iced tea today. You do not want to spill it because you get to drink it after class. And you're bringing your hand in. Now my fingers are going to flip to face in towards my waist. At the same time, I'm shifting over to the right. And now I'm doing a circle behind me. My palm is still facing up. I'm coming up, shifting my weight. Palm is still facing up, circling up above. Palm is still up, sort of, and back. Now, if you can't, if it seems confusing to try and coordinate the hips and the arms, don't worry about the hips yet. This is an inhale, and this is an exhale. So I'm going to turn around, because when I teach live, I know a lot of you like it if I turn around. So I'm going to turn around right now, and let's do it together. Okay, so you're taking your left hand, comes back and around and up and down. This is called a silk reeling pose. In other words, it stimulates the fluid that lines your joints to help keep them silky smooth. And hopefully you still have your tea. Let's do one more. Good. Okay, so let's do the other side. So I'll start facing you and then I'll turn around. Go grab some water if you need some. Okay, so now you're going to be taking your right hand, holding your tea, coming in, fingers point towards your waist, and then a little circle behind you with the palm up. Now this does feel awkward, I know, and it's supposed to. So your hand is coming up, stretching all this back area up, circling up. Look at your palm. Is it facing up, around, and back? Spiraling your arms. Mirroring the spirals that we find in nature. I'm feeling like you want me to turn around now. So I'm going to turn around, starting it together. Moving back and around and up and back. Do a few more. Okay, let me back. Let's try it with both hands. Sometimes this is a little bit easier. So you have a T in both hands. Your hands come up towards the sky. And now I'm shifting so my fingers are facing in towards each other. Palms are up. And now out. Now my shoulders are sort of rounded so that I can keep my palms facing up, and they go all the way behind me now. And now I'm shifting my fingers so they come forward. Big inhale and exhale. You can exhale through your mouth or through your nose. Feeling that in your shoulders. And I've had worked with some clients that have had shoulder issues and have been worried about this move, and then found it was really, really helpful for them actually. And exhaling. One more. Exhale. And coming back. Let's just take our shoulders and roll them back a little. Just let the hands go for a sec. Shake them out. And let's go into, so we're doing neck and shoulders today and also joints. So let's work with the hips. So first we'll just do some nice big hip rolls. Imagine you were doing a hula hoop. Don't really need to do anything with your hands. So make sure it's your hips. It's not your upper body going like this. If you see, my upper body is barely moving. It's the hips. This will help to release your lower back as well. And let's change direction. We're going to make the move a lot smaller. So a smaller move really works with the sacrum area, this part of your back. I find it's really helpful when that part of my back is being cranky. So you're going to take your hips over very slightly to the right, and then pull up, pull your belly up and over to the left, and then releasing back. So it's a little tiny movement. Imagine that with your tailbone, you're drawing a little tiny circle on the floor. There's a pencil coming down. It's a little circle. So it's side, forward, side, back. Side, forward, side, back. Little circle. You can just release your hands down. I'm just moving my arms so you can see what's going on. It's not this big movement. Remember, it's a little tiny movement. Now let's change sides, direction. Little tiny. You might be able to actually feel that in your low back area, in your sacrum area. Good. And so we'll do a movement that also works with the hips and with balance. We may have done this last week. So think about putting all your weight into your right leg. Your left comes across, up, and down. Now for those of you with some balance issues, you might need to use a table. Cross, up, and down. And that's fine. Super important to work on the balance. And you do these enough, you will start to develop, you'll see an improvement, you'll start to develop a lot better balance. Cross, up, and down. Feel free to use a chair. Cross, up, down. Do a couple more. One more. Cross, up, down. Good. Now let's take it. So imagine you're holding on, you have your hands on, and Qi Gong may say tiger heads, but let's just say maybe a bookshelf or something. Imagine you're holding on to something, and you're going to shift your weight over to your right and come up onto your left foot. And then bring it down, shift your weight over. Now you might need to use something. I'm going to skip back so you can see my feet. If your balance isn't so great, go ahead and hold on to something. So we're shifting over and up, over and up. And you can go over and just keep your foot here too, over, and just lift it a little bit. Now let's come back to center. Now let's take that right foot up, either on the floor, and just doing little circles with it, or lift it up and circle your ankle. Again, feel free to hold on to something. Notice where your balance is, and let's keep working with this so you get better balance. And back down. Relax your arms for a minute, and let's do the other side. So again, you can just have your toes down, do little circles with your foot, or come up and circle your ankle, working with the joint here, and of course with balance and strength. There's a lot of strength involved here on your right leg. Good. And just shake it out a little bit. Let's do a few more flowing movements. So let's do a movement that's open to the 6 directions. So your hands float up and come on in. Round your back as you float out. And hands come back, palms are facing towards me, and then out. Imagine you're grabbing Qi energy, life source energy all around you. And then just pulling it on down. Up, in, out. So we're starting to bring in more Qi now. We've done all kinds of releasing and circulating. Hands floating up and coming in. Rounding as you push out. And the hands gently reach out. So imagine there's that energy that you felt within your hands. It's all around you. You don't have to imagine it because it actually is. And you're pulling it in and pulling it down through your body. And inhale. Exhale, round your back. Grabbing that chi. And then bringing it down through your head, through your mind, feeding your emotional body and feeding your physical body. And then hands float up, in and out. Now they're coming in, elbows bending, rounding my back, hands coming out. Imagine you're grabbing that energy, pulling it in, and bringing it on down. Well, let's just go into a movement called flying right now. So you're going to just go right into it, out and down. It's floating up and floating down. So now we've activated that chi, that life force energy. So imagine that that energy is moving your hands and arms instead of your mind mechanically just moving your arms. What would it feel like if that fuzzy, tingly energy you felt was moving you? And the slower you go, the more likely you're going to be able to feel it and access it. Floating up and floating down. So it's like the feeling you would get when you're swimming. Releasing your mind. And remember, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So you want to stay in this moment by paying attention to the feelings in your body, maybe repeating your intention to yourself. You're going to get more out of the practice than if you're simply going through the motions. Do one more. And release your hands down. And just feel that vibration between your hands, your energy field. Go ahead and take your hands up and down, pulling down the heavens. Taking the energy and filling ourselves up. Bringing that composted, recycled energy up from the earth and bringing it back down. One more time. Hands float down. Now the back of your hands come together and we're going to pull the energy. We've brought it down. Now we're going to pull it up through a movement called the fountain. Working with the kidneys. Imagine you're pulling water up all the way up to about the sternum area, cooling off your body and releasing it all around you. Pulling it up and releasing it down. So there's a bend in your legs. You're really thinking about moving your whole body, not just your arms. So maybe you're a little round in here, a little straightening your back here. flowing through the movement. One more. And then let's take our arms up, and one in front, one behind. What we were doing before with tiger claw, but now we're just flowing through it. Up and down. And up. And just floating our arms down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Pulling the energy up, releasing it down. Check in with your breath, breathing through your nose. And slow it down a little bit. And hands come right here. Now let's take your right hand down and your left up. Creating a better connection between the right and left sides of your brain. So coming down with your right hand, up with your left, floating them, or if you're floating. Now we're going to reverse that. So coming down with your left, up with your right. And the hands just start moving naturally. Just let one go down, one come up. And I like to say, fake it till you make it. So if your hands are kind of moving all over the place, that's okay. Just don't get too much in your mind about it. And eventually they will find their way. And coming back. Let's see, if we have time, I love to do one of my favorite moves that we've done in class before, the lotus flow. It stimulates the heart energy. Hands come out and up. You're forming a little diamond with your hands up above. Now you're pulling that energy down through your body, down to the earth. And all that recycled energy, everything that you composted, now it's turned into this lush soil. Bringing that composted Qi up to your heart. And imagine sharing that energy with somebody that you know that is in need. Sharing that out, making a circle. And then the back of your hands come together. It turns into a lotus flower of self-love and compassion in your own heart. Coming down and around, forming that diamond. Coming all the way down through yourself, filling yourself up, and even more from the earth. And the energy combines in your heart, and now you're sharing it. And as you share, it also returns to you. Diamond shape. You can even imagine a gold luminescent light in that diamond shape. Coming down, gathering more from the earth into your heart, sharing it with the world. and blossoming as a flower in your own heart. So we can more easily get in touch with this flowing energy because we circulated Qi earlier, we did some releasing of old. So now we have space to bring in this beautiful energy into our hearts and to share it with others. If we're depleted, we don't have much to share with the world, do we? Out and back in to the heart. Relax your hands down. Let's do a movement called Pebble in the Pond. It helps to ground our energy into our physical body, so it's there for us. So we have this solid foundation of Qi. And this is simply moving out and back. Hips come up back, hands come forward and fall. You're smoothing out the earth and bring in that energy into your belly area, your dantian area. So we have a strong physical presence and vitality. One more time. And hands come back. Let's just take the left hand up and down. This is called centering. And the right hand comes up. So gathering more Qi to yourself, pulling it down through your body. So if there's any other part of yourself that could be filled with more of this life force energy, you're pulling it in now. Remember, your cup has been emptied and you're filling it up now. What's called righteous Qi. That Qi that inspires you. That helps you to feel content and at ease for no reason at all. Happy with just being. Do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And you're just going to interlace your hands like this. Bring one over the other and over the belly, the dantian energy center. This means elixir field, loosely translated. Over the belly. Now your feet come together. That's comfortable for you. Slight bend in your knees are more just relaxed. Hips are relaxed for bamboo in the wind. And on this movement, you close your eyes and just allow yourself to rock and sway. And this balances and aligns all the Qi we move through our body. So however your body wants to move, let it move. Go ahead and bring your hands to your heart in a prayer position. And first, let's just take a quick body scan. Notice if you feel any shifts. And take a moment first to repeat your intention to yourself 3 times. And lastly, let's end our practice with the attitude of gratitude. So silently acknowledge to yourself something that you are grateful for today. It can be anything else. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes if you haven't already. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. And thank you for practicing with me today. I'm going to go ahead and just turn the video